just wanted to show you it's the same sun in Iraq as it is here in America. Clouds, same stars. It's really a beautiful country because I like to say it's God's country too. I don't take anything for granted. You know, you woke up this morning, and I won't ask you to raise your hand, but most of you did it. We probably, almost all of us, flushed our toilet this morning. You know, in the background of this picture, that's how we flushed our toilets. We would burn our portalets after a while because we couldn't flush them. But you know, when I flush my toilet, I think about Iraq every day. And it's not that it's a dirty country, it's that we are blessed to have a toilet that flushes. I mean, thank God for the plumber. Iraq, we didn't have those liberties. And those are things that we take for granted every day. We take for granted when we turn on the faucet, water's going to come out. When we push the button and get a drink of water, water's going to come out the water fountain. But what if it doesn't one day? You're going to be upset. You're going to be calling Waterworks. You're going to be calling the plumber and saying, hey, my toilet doesn't flush. You go 6 months without flushing your toilet, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That'd be a rough, anyway. Next slide. This is how I celebrated July 4th. Had all the red, white, and blue I could get on. And, we had a spaghetti dinner that day because we couldn't eat hot dogs and hamburgers, but we got spaghetti sent to us in Crete, and that's how we celebrated it. Just remember that God's always in control. You're all going to fall down. You're all on that chosen journey, and you're going to fall. Who's going to be there to pick you up? You heard of that footprints in the sand. God's with you. There's 2 sets of footprints everywhere you go, yours and his. And then one day a tragedy happens, and some people might say, God, where were you on that day? I didn't see your footprints. I needed you. And God says, I carried you that day. The footprints were mine. He's with you wherever you go, in all of those tragedies in your life. That makes us grow really stronger as a Christian. I'm not mad at God for blowing me up in Iraq. I'm not mad. He had a journey for me. He knew when I was born that I would be in this church today. He knew that. He has a plan for each and every one of you. Go ahead. I would rest when I could in Iraq. Drink a lot of water. Go ahead. I have to go through these quickly because I want to get you out of here by 1 o'clock. Go ahead. You know, when burdens get so heavy on our heart, we get a lump in our throat because we're all dealing with our own situations in our lives. God wants you to give it to Him. Surrender that to the Lord. Give it to Him. Prayer is so important. You know, I have Alan Asbury, a Christian music singer. He's coming out tonight to Tri-County Assembly. I asked him to come out and put on a free concert. He's flying in from Peaster, Texas to sing tonight. And he sings a song called Somebody's Praying Me Through. And I know many of you prayed for me and prayed for our veterans. And you're praying today for our troops and you're praying for our president. There's people praying for me and for you that don't even know us. Somebody's praying me through it. Give it all to the Lord. Go ahead. I want to do this, and you're supposed to turn the slide. Good job. I'm blessed. No, you're good. The Iraqi flag, a Marine. We're not allowed to fly the American flag over there because we don't want to show a sense of occupation. We're not there to take it over. We're there to help the people that can't help themselves. I joined the military when I was 17 years old so that I could help people that needed help. So I did the Lucasville prison riots, and I went to a bad hurricane in Honduras, and I went to Panama, and I went to the 97 flood here in the Ohio River. In 1999, in Sycamore Township, I went to the tornado where 3 people were killed, and I helped chainsaw trees. I always wanted to help people. And I went to Iraq with that same thought. I went to help people that couldn't help themselves. It's a beautiful country in some parts. I always wanted to drive a Mercedes. If anybody works for General Motors, forgive me, but I asked my driver, I said, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool to drive a Mercedes in Iraq and to come home and tell about it? He went out and found a Mercedes in aluminum. You know, he put it on the General Motors home video. Here we are. It came with the up armor. That's what I tell people. This is an Iraqi woman walking her daughter to school. And she has in her left arm a meal ready to eat. She has an army meal. She's going to have lunch that day. This is the humanitarian effort that I'm talking about. You know, I brought a couple of medals with me. I got the Bronze Star of Valor and I got the Purple Heart, along with some other medals. But, you know, this is the Purple Heart, the oldest military medal in military history. George Washington is on it because he founded the Purple Heart and would give it to those that were wounded. He'd give them a purple ribbon. Then they didn't have a medal, but a purple ribbon would signify that they were wounded in battle. You don't go to combat saying to your buddy, man, I hope I get that Purple Heart. You don't want this. When you get it, it's an honor. But you don't go to war hoping you get it. But if there was one medal that I could hope I would get, it was the humanitarian medal. It's a medal with a picture of a hand on it. It's helping others. That was the whole purpose of my military career. And that's what I did in Iraq. And I did earn that humanitarian medal. I called home and said, these kids are barefoot. 6,000 pairs of shoes and socks were sent from the Cincinnati area to Iraq. And we distributed these shoes. This is a female soldier putting shoes on this little girl for the first time in her life. What a blessing that was for that family. And we did it at the schools so that we wouldn't offend the family, so that the teachers would be there helping us distribute those humanitarian goods. These little girls like Girl Scout cookies and SpaghettiOs and Little Debbie's. The things that we take for granted every day. These little boys, all they had was 2 shirts, and they were both their dad's shirts. And that's what they would wear out every day. When I got bored and my legs hurt, I'd sit on the hood of a tank and ride around town. And they thought that was a great picture to take, so. Lack of courage. When you go through your difficult day, think about that. Every day for me is pretty difficult. Some of the reasons is because of that person standing next to me in this picture. July 7th of 2004 was a very difficult day for me. It was a more difficult day. It was Sam Bowen's last day on earth. Sam Bowen, his name is on my license plate out front. I think about him every day. His name's right here on a bracelet. He gave his life for me and you. He doesn't even know you. That's a veteran. A rocket-propelled grenade with small arm fires ambushed our convoy. Sam was my driver. Rocket-propelled grenade traveled through his body and went on to hit an M16 rifle near me. 29 bullets and 300 pieces of shrapnel went in my body. Blew out my eardrums. That's my ears. They're still talking to me. It's been 3.5 years. Metal comes out often. If you see me in the airport, cut in front of me. You're going to miss your flight. It's still in there. The next one. It was in Samara, Iraq, where we were attacked. You can see here, there's an Iraqi soldier. I took this out of the picture. This picture, I took it out of the front window of our Humvee. We were always the rear gun truck, Sam and I were. I'd take pictures while Sam was driving. He's like, cut it out. That's right, Sam. I talked to him every day. This was our convoy in front of us. That's how far we would travel apart in case a roadside bomb would hit one vehicle and only take out one vehicle and not everybody. So we